You know, not everybody is some serious fragrance enthusiast that wants a bunch of variety for several different situations and different seasons and all that wonderful jazz. Some people, a lot of people actually, are just looking for one, maybe two fragrances that will literally cover all of their needs, all of their situations, and they won't have to sit there and stare at a wall full of fragrances and think about it. It's literally just right there. They can grab it and they can go. In this video, we're going to keep it simple. There's really only two types of fragrances, in my opinion, that you need to cover everything. And I've got two great examples for each. One designer, one niche. Easy to get your hands on. Nothing that's super expensive, even on the niche side. Like I said, we're just going to keep it simple. Stay tuned. So your main fragrance style is going to be something you can wear every day. Doesn't matter the situation. You can start your day, you get dressed in the morning, you spray this before you walk out the door. Borderline signature scent. Because you're going to have two fragrances, it's technically not going to be a signature scent, but in a way it will be. It's going to be what you wear the most. So something along the lines of a blue fragrance. That's a modern take on an everyday fragrance these days. They're versatile, they're fresh, they're enjoyable, the people around you will like them, and most of the time they perform really well. And Versace Dylan Blue is definitely one of those. Known to pull in many compliments, it's a bona fide compliment king. It's aquatic, it's bright, it's fresh, it's a little smoky, rich, dense, a little shower gel, a little spice, a little sweetness. It's a little bit of everything, honestly. An amalgamation, a smorgasbord of oils in this bottle, essentially. You'll get a little bit of everything. Very inviting. Most people really enjoy this. And most people around you will enjoy the way you smell with this. It's not too serious to where you need to dress it up, and it's not too playful to where you're going to smell like you're, a teenager at the same time. Is this a popular choice among teenagers? I'm sure it is. But younger men, this is kind of a superstar of a fragrance, if you will. It's that one fragrance that you can put on the corner of your dresser, on your desk, whatever have you, whatever your setup is like, and leave it there. And it's just what you grab every day to go to work, every day to go to school if you're at university, or whatever the case. It literally will work in every situation. And depending on your situation, you can decide how many sprays you want. If you're the more subtle type that just wants to smell nice and clean and fresh and not really make a statement, 1, 2, 3 sprays will be more than enough. If you're the type that wants to grab some attention, you just dial up the sprays a little more because this does perform really well. And when walking by, you have the ability with a fragrance like this to grab some attention and potentially get a nice compliment from somebody. It's a very attractive smell. It's extremely versatile. It's pretty affordable. 100 milliliter bottles like this from most discounters online with the appropriate coupon codes associated with said site, depending on where you shop, in the $50 range. Somewhere around that, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but overall pretty affordable, and you get what you pay for with it. Whereas it's not super cheap, it is affordable, but it's not some crazy expensive fragrance that has some challenge to it and some complexity. Very easy to wear, very versatile. Fragrances like Versace Dylan Blue would be that perfect designer choice. Now, as far as a luxury niche pick, this is for the guys that have a little bit more to spend, want to spend a little bit more, maybe get a little bit more quality, and not necessarily a lot of uniqueness, still pretty easy to wear, versatile for every situation, does exactly what Dylan Blue can do from the designer side. Whereas it can sit on the corner of a desk or a dresser, you spray it on every day. You want to be subtle, easy on the sprays, you want to be noticed, heavier on the sprays. Fragrances like Mancera Citra Boisé can do just that. This is my default answer when somebody asks me what's the best niche fragrance to start with, because in my opinion it's a safe play. What do I mean by it being a safe play? It smells great. It smells frickin' great, and it performs very well. It's not an overwhelming beast, but it does the job. For me, I get 7 to 8 hours of life on my skin, which is more than enough, and it's very noticeable, especially in the first 2 to 3 hours. Very attractive, versatile enough to work in the evenings as well. This will pull a nice compliment for you as well. This does a lot of the same things that a blue style fragrance from the designer market like a Versace Dylan Blue can do. It smells great, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's woody, it's grounded, but here it's a little bit higher quality, not a drastic change. It does smell like a slightly more expensive fragrance because it is a slightly more expensive fragrance. From discount sites online, you can expect to pay somewhere in the $70 to $100 range depending on where you find it. Like I said, you're going to pay a little bit more here, but you're going to get a little bit more here. And it's a little bit bigger bottle too. This is a 4-ounce, 120 milliliter bottle, whereas the Dylan Blue was a 100 milliliter, 3.4-ounce bottle. So you get a little bit more fragrance out of the deal. It does perform about the same. They don't smell about the same, but they do the same job for the most part. This is for those that want to spend a little bit more and get a little bit more, like I was saying. A great everyday fragrance that you can wear for anything would absolutely be Mancera Cedrat Boisé. So we got your everyday fragrance covered. So in my opinion, the only other thing you really need to cover is special occasions, evenings out, and dates. If you can cover that, you're good. You just need the 2 fragrances in my opinion. And as far as designers are concerned, when it comes to performance, sex appeal, and a little bit more of a serious nature to it, I think Viktor & Rolf Spicebomb Extreme does it better than most. It's a little sweet, it's got a little bit of an earthy tobacco here, and you still have plenty of that spicy heart that the original Spicebomb is known for. It's attractive, it's sexy, it's alluring, it cuts through the cold, it performs really well. If you're the subtlety type, easy on the sprays. If you want to get some attention, this fragrance will get some attention. Dial up the sprays a little bit. It will push and project and grab people, and it will last 8, 10, 12 hours depending on your skin chemistry, but it will last. This is a stunner. You're going to pay around $90, $100 for this designer fragrance. You're going to pay a little bit more than you will for your daytime, everyday fragrance like we discussed prior, but you're getting a higher quality designer fragrance here. It doesn't smell synthetic, and like I said, super alluring and attractive. It's got that spicy, sweet sex appeal. Spicy, sweet fragrances tend to attract the opposite sex. Your significant other, whether it be girlfriend or wife, is bound to love this. Most women find this scent extremely attractive. That's why it's so hyped up and so immensely popular in the fragrance world, in the fragrance community, and for the average consumer as well. It's a top seller for a reason. This stuff is popular and it deserves to be popular. It's damn good. Are you going to smell it everywhere you go like some fragrances? No. So it is kind of more a not necessarily best kept secret, but you have to be in the know to know about this fragrance. And if you're watching fragrance videos on YouTube, you're in the know most likely. So something like this will do all of that. It will cover the other bases, whereas your everyday daytime fragrance can pull off what this can do. Something like Spicebomb Extreme for special events, evenings, and dates just does it so much better. Get yourself something along the lines of a Spicebomb Extreme. So in regards to a slightly more expensive niche fragrance, so you're going to get a little more because you're going to pay a little more. Here the performance is kind of what and what because we did hit pretty heavy with the designer pick here. That was a heavy hitter with Spicebomb Extreme, but something that still has that, alluring sex appeal, the spicy sweetness like I was talking about, but still not the most challenging wear in the world, but a little bit different, a little bit more unique. I think a great niche pick would be Parfums de Marly Layton. It's hard to beat. It's a great choice. There's a geranium note here that provides a minty menthol type of quality up top. You're going to get a blast of some fruity green apple, and you're going to get a lot of vanilla and some cardamom, slightly peppery spice type of feel. It's really, really lovely. Very attractive. Very, very attractive fragrance. Another one, just like with Spicebomb Extreme, it will pull people in. It will pull a compliment. Is it going to happen every single time you wear it and everybody you walk by? Most likely no. It has the potential to do that type of stuff. Here, it's a little bit more serious, just like with Spicebomb Extreme, the designer choice for your evenings out, special events, and dates. This is going to do just fine for that, as well as cut through the cold very well. Even in summer evenings, I think if you're in a climate-controlled environment, you can wear both of these fragrances, the designer choice and the niche choice. It's just fragrances that aren't best suited for daytime summer wear. They don't really do well in the heat. They're better for cooler weather and evenings out. Special events, because like I said, they have more of a serious approach to them without being too serious. It's not something that you have to wear a suit and tie with. That would fall into the much more serious territory, whereas here, you can still get away with a polo, an Oxford, you know, a really nice V-neck, something like that. These fragrances will do just fine for that. Just dress accordingly to whatever the event you have to go to. But something along the lines of Parfums de Marly-Layton I think would be a great choice. It's easy to get a hold of from discounters. It's not the most expensive niche fragrance out there, in the 150 to, I would say 140 to 170 range, depending on bottle size and depending on where you find it, because you can get this in a 2.5 ounce. This is a 4.2 ounce. And I think it's unique enough, alluring enough, performs well enough, but not too challenging to where the average consumer can't get a ton of enjoyment out of this fragrance. That was the goal of this video, and the niche pick for me, I think the safest, best route to go is going to be Parfums de Marly-Layton. So a little bit different video topic. This isn't for, you know, the hardcore fragrance enthusiasts, some of my regular viewers that watch day in and day out. You guys have large collections. You have you probably have all 4 of these fragrances, but this is more geared towards the guy that's just looking to get that 1 or maybe even 2 fragrances to do everything, whether they're just starting out in their journey or they're the average consumer and they have no desire to build a fragrance collection. They're just looking for some good advice on maybe pointed in the right direction on some good options where they're not going to spend too much money, but they're also not going to smell like everybody they walk by at the same time. I personally think these were 4 great options, 2 niche, 2 designer, for everyday use, for special events, dates, and evenings out. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Do you have any of these? Are you newer to this? Are you that average Joe just looking to be pointed in the right direction like I made this video for? Let me know down in the comments, and if you liked what you see, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 4 and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.